What's going on, everybody? My name is Abel,
My name is Dallas Morales.
and welcome to the very first episode of the 806 Perspective podcast, where we talk about sports, all kinds of sports. Today's episode, we're going to recap Super Bowl 57, where the Kansas City Chiefs won their second Super Bowl under the Reid and Mahomes era by defeating Philadelphia Eagles 38-35. It's a pretty good game, all in all. You know, never really a blowout, kind of back and forth. Alice, how'd you feel about that Super Bowl?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a great game. One of the best Super Bowls that we got to watch, honestly. A lot of back and forth action. We had the MVP, have his comeback as we wanted to see, as everybody was waiting to see, actually, honestly. MVP, what was it? Super Bowl MVP too as well. I didn't get to see that, honestly.
Yeah, second Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, I
Damn.
think it was a great Super Bowl. All in
Yeah.
all, honestly. Had everything, had offense. A lot of offense. People really don't like to see defense. In all honesty,
Yep. One of those people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we will be. What do you
Go
think?
ahead.
What do you think it was? More of the Chiefs offense or Eagles lack of defense? I mean, the Eagles defense was what, number one in the NFL. I mean, most sacks in the NFL, takeaways,
Yep.
and everything. You name it.
I feel like it's a combination of both, really. I mean, I feel like both defenses really didn't do anything to impact the game. I mean, they never forced fumbles, like just based on like a disguise coverage or a pressure sack. I mean, Jalen Hurts just fumbled the ball because he has butterfingers or slippery fingers. But
I agree. That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
man,
That
that
was
would
really
really,
the only mistake, honestly, the whole game.
yeah. And then, I mean, they were up, 14-7 at that point. If they would have gone down and scored a touchdown, sheesh, momentum would have swung to them big time. But I think it was more, I don't think the Chiefs was like, I really don't think it was either one, like Chiefs kind of coming back or the Eagles. I guess it was more the Eagles choking, but I think the Eagles just kind of shot themselves in their foot because they made oh my God, they made so many mistakes, man.
No,
That was terrible.
also noted though, like so before Jalen Hurts fumble, it's 3rd-and-inches basically, 3rd-and-1, and then a false start. They're easily gonna do that QB sneak play. That let's be honest,
Yeah.
there needs to be a rule for that, right? It's like unstoppable.
I mean, I'm the only rule I can think of is like you can't like have the players push, but
Right.
I mean, it's so like nitpicky with that because I'm sure someone will make up with like they'll have them like accidentally trip over themselves or something, trip into the quarterback.
Maybe the Chiefs should just line up behind Chris Jones and push them or something. I don't know.
Something like counter the quarterback sneak with like a defensive tackle sneak. God, imagine.
No, but yeah, get sidetracked there. But I think that was massive too. Like they really didn't have any bad penalties. I'm just kind of like nitpicking the Eagles because they played an overall great game. Honestly, I get the defense part, but offense they did everything they could have done. I mean, they went for it on that 4th and 5, and Hurts got that long QB sneak run.
Yeah, I don't think they like. I think they went for it twice on 4th down, converted it each time.
Yep.
The only thing I could think of is like, I think the Eagles only ended up punting like twice.
And then the worst punt they could have possibly done, just a line drive to Tony, let him get a running start to one of the most dynamic players with the ball.
And then they had the entire like, I guess the punting unit on one side. He made one dude miss, and he just went all the way, just circled all the way around. Like, Jesus,
that's what I noticed.
You gotta have at least one person set like the opposite edge, like a prevent outside.
Yeah, if the punter wasn't there, he was the only one on that side. Honestly,
man, that was tough to watch, man. That's when like I think that's when, yeah, like you said, the momentum really like swung. The one thing that I think is when before halftime when Butker missed a kick, um, the Eagles had like 2 minutes 15 seconds, so they had the 2-minute warning. They had all three timeouts, and they were at like the 40. And like, you know, if they would have scored a touchdown there, the momentum swing would have been crazy.
Yeah.
But I think they were just way too conservative. They were like set on
Right.
getting three. But I mean, they're at the 40. They run they run like a 5-yard like draw play with Miles Sanders.
Right.
He doesn't
Right.
get it, and it's fourth down, and then they run a QB sneak. Like that's like 30, 45 seconds wasted on run plays when you could have probably
Right.
just
Right.
the
Yeah.
receivers were torching like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. They were torching pretty much whoever
Yeah.
was guarding them. So
I agree, man. Eagles did what they did whatever they wanted to do on offense. It was like we mentioned, it was all offense game. It's not like the Chiefs defense was anything crazy, besides really Chris Jones and not even a factor. I don't think
yeah,
that was Chiefs O line being. I mean, that was just Eagles O line being Eagles O line,
yeah.
making players like that be non-existent.
I mean, yeah, like Chiefs D line was like you said, nothing really crazy besides Chris Jones, but the Eagles, like you said before, we were talking earlier, they had 78 sacks, like third most all time in a season as a unit. Then they had Hassan Reddick. He was leading the league, I think, with 19 and a half. I mean, they have like experience. They have Sue. They have Joseph. They have Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. I mean,
Yeah, like Josh Sweat or something like that came
yeah,
out of nowhere too.
I got so many people, and I mean, I don't think they touched Mahomes once. Maybe
Well, I
like,
mean, I think what was kind of crazy too, they have two All-Pro corners basically this
yeah,
season. And man, Juju Smith was like he was feasting for a little bit. He right?
yeah,
That
he
second
was
half,
just,
I feel like I kept hearing his name in the second half.
yeah. I mean, they did like a, they did a decent job on Kelsey compared to the rest of the playoffs, like
I
the other
agree.
teams that guard him. But I mean, take Kelsey out, got to focus on Juju, but he was just cooking Bradbury.
He was. I mean, like he mentioned too. That was like and did you in the like Super Bowl interviews? They're talking about Bradbury to him, and he was talking about. You remember what I did last time to him? Basically, like watch the film.
Yeah.
'Cause apparently, last time he had like 80 yards, 2 touchdowns on Bradbury. Last time he played.
I
I
don't
mean,
know, like,
Debo mentioned it too, but I think he's just really salty right
oh
now.
yeah,
He is not
yeah,
feeling.
Debo's real salty. The entire 49ers team is salty. The only one that's not is probably Kittle.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't put Slay on Juju. I mean, it's like I don't think they would have Slay on Kelsey. That he's not gonna guard Kelsey, but I don't know. It's
yeah.
just getting cooked by Juju, man. He kind of had a quiet season all year,
Mhm. No,
and
for
then he
sure.
just kind of shined Super Bowl.
So
Who did you want to win, Dallas? To be honest.
I didn't. I wouldn't say I wanted the either or to win. Not like you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
of course, I had Chiefs winning. I just did. I felt like Eagles to me were the better team on paper. I mean, they have all the weapons on offense. I feel like better running backs. Well, I guess it's debatable now. Pacheco really came into his own, but
yeah,
I feel like they had the better core of receivers, the better O line, better D line. Every cornerbacks. They had everything. I feel like the Eagles. I just feel like they went against the best player in Mahomes.
yeah.
And I I don't like. I mean, I'm not going for the Eagles at all, honestly. But I was very surprised they kicked that field goal to go up just 27-21 at the end and
Yeah.
give Mahomes the ball back with 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Especially with how aggressive they've been the entire game. It was like what,
yeah,
4th and 2?
yes, I just didn't think Nick Sirianni would do that. I mean, he's been aggressive all season long. Putting the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
And I think if he would have scored a touchdown with 5 minutes left, that could have been 31-21. That's a lot more comfortable 10-point lead with 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
I
just didn't like
mean,
that. I was very surprised that they did that field goal. And that's like I said, that's just nitpicking on it. They played very good on offense.
Yeah, looking back on it, because I think that same drive they went for it. I mean, they were already in field goal range. It was like 4th and 3
Mhm.
or something, and they still went
Yep.
for it on 4th down. But I
Yep.
mean, you're gonna be aggressive, I understand you want the points, but like
Right.
you gotta understand your defense is getting slaughtered by the Chiefs. Just nobody can guard. They can't get any kind of pressure on them. Mahomes is getting the ball out of his hands, and like I saw on ESPN, it was like 2.6 seconds or something, like the fastest that he's ever gotten rid of the ball in his entire career. So
Oh,
I think at that point you just got to try to play it for a 2-possession game. Because
I
I mean,
agree. Because
but,
let's be honest. I mean, I guess 3-point difference and 6-point difference. It's not too much, right? Honestly.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
he's
either
he
way, this is a one-score game still, no matter what. Even if
because if Chiefs goal, they're getting it. They're going for a touchdown no matter what. They're not settling for field
yeah,
goals. They found that out when Butker missed that one.
yeah,
We're not gonna do that again. And I'm surprised they did a field goal to end the game. I was very surprised by that, putting the faith in them with the slippery turf, grass, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. Man, I feel it was awful. But I mean, I'm so like I'm surprised that McKinnon had like the awareness like on that last drive to like go down at the 1.
No
I
doubt.
swear that man was just running full speed, and I was like, go score, score, score. So the Eagles had more time, but
Yeah, because he
he's
didn't want
he's
to
been
steal.
watching the
Yeah.
been watching the memes about that Todd Gurley whenever played for the Falcons and they scored and they lost.
Right. Yeah, you could tell when he was running, and then you just see like definitely the Eagles weren't trying. I guess he could tell like he kind of looked at them like, "Oh, wait a minute, they want me to do this. They
Yeah.
want me to go in." And he just kind of sat down. So what? Hey, so obviously we got to talk about the call, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I just think I know it was like a hold. I mean, it wasn't like blatant one. It wasn't
Yep.
easy. I think the refs did a decent job of holding their whistles the entire game. So I feel like they could have kind of let that one go. Especially like in the situation. I feel like refs need to have like how we like people always get on players about having situational like awareness, like knowing when the clock is down or how much time is on the clock or where they're at on the field. I feel like
Mhm.
refs should kind of do that too, where they kind of understand like they don't get this, they're gonna kick the field goal regardless, and then Chiefs are gonna or Eagles are gonna have like a minute 30, no timeouts left to try and score. I feel like
Right.
that would make it. I feel like that would be something that they should try and talk about, make it more like favor the entertainment aspect. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have held the whistle on there. I mean, it wasn't anything super crazy. If they didn't call it, I don't think people would have really been like mad at them
Yeah,
for missing that call.
I understand that. I definitely see both sides. Obviously, 'cause,
Yeah,
if you're going for Chiefs or going for Eagles, because like he did hold, and, like he did mention it, or he admitted to it. Bradbury saying, I
yeah,
got to, this and that, you know, and Mahomes did. Obviously, Mahomes didn't throw the best ball either. I mean, I guess you could say that's where he's supposed to be.
yeah,
This and that. I understand holding the whistle part. I don't think it because if they kick a field goal, they're still with the lead, right? With like you said, a minute 40 left.
yeah. And it's 38-35. The Eagles. Well, I guess it's kind of I don't know. They threw the ball, so it like incomplete. So the clock stopped, and the Eagles would have kept one timeout.
Right.
Um, so they would have had like
Probably like a minute
I think
50
it
left.
was
Right.
yeah something around there with the one timeout left. And I mean, the Chiefs like
Right.
nobody's defense is stopping anybody's offense on right
Oh, for
now.
sure.
So
But I do think that would have been a good. I mean, Hurts is playing good, really solid all game.
yeah,
I guess that would have been a cool moment to see though. 2 minute drill, game on the line. Can he do it? Because he hasn't had that really chance all year. Honestly, he's never been behind.
yeah.
Basi-
I mean, they're. I mean, the strength of schedule is pretty weak too. But I mean, yeah, They were pretty
Right.
much blowing a lot of the weaker teams out, so they didn't really have to be in like
Yeah.
a hurry up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like refs should just know the situation and just be like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, entertainment aspect. Because I mean, NFL just cares about ratings, like all the higher ups. They don't care. And I
Like
don't
you
think they
said,
really care about like a good game. I mean, they care about a good game, but like, they don't
obviously.
care about everything else. They just want it to be very entertaining for the fans, which I mean is why they always have like a halftime show all the time, entertain the fans, and they do all that kind of stuff to keep them invested in the game, even if it's like a blowout, like the Seahawks smack the Broncos or something. But that's
Right.
just what I think. But it was a holding call. I understand why they do it. The other thing is like on the replay, like Juju, like he didn't even complain about it. No, he didn't like try to argue it or anything. He kind of just let
Mm-hmm.
it happen. But the one that complained was Mahomes, and
Mahomes, yeah.
I know that man don't got eyes like that where you can see that. That boy full cap. But
Like you see, like you make a good point though. Like you make a good point though. You know, if they hold their whistle, you know, no one. I doubt anyone says anything about that play. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Then we just God's hands, see what is, see what happens.
yeah. Another thing
Obviously,
was, I was on Facebook earlier, and we're in that like
uh-huh.
sports group, and I didn't even think about it, but they had that there was one missed call from Bradbury on Juju where like I think it was like third and something. It was one of the times where the Chiefs went 3 and out, and he kind of
This is the
like,
first drive, right? The second drive.
yeah, yeah, and
Yes,
they like
yeah,
missed it. So I feel like
yep,
that kind of played into it too, where they're like,
yeah,
oh, we missed it on a crucial third down, so
yeah.
let's try not to do it again.
I
So
remember that one.
yeah,
That
I
was
guess
like
it kind of plays out.
yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, one. I guess you really can't say because if we converse that first down, then no telling what Chiefs probably go down there and score. And no telling how they're probably not playing from behind the whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about the offenses, like we said, nobody really defenses really were non-factors. We talk about the quarterbacks. The
So
MVP, Patrick Mahomes, the greatest thing to the world, apparently, especially here in where we live.
yeah,
Everywhere we go, we see
for
Patrick
sure.
Mahomes. Um, he
So
didn't. He was. I feel like he didn't really do anything crazy. He kind of, as far as like up to his standards, he kind of had like a average game.
again,
Was it 21 to 27, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns.
that
But
big run though at the end too.
yeah, that like
Man,
26 yarder. But
yeah,
it also helps that Pacheco and just the Chiefs' run game as a whole was kind of lighting up the Eagles, which is actually surprising because who was it? I don't remember who. I think it was when the Commanders beat them, like ended their undefeated streak, and they just ran the ball down their throats. And then I think
yeah.
they ended up signing.
Robinson
They
Robinson
signed
had
like
28 carries for like 100 yards. Like that's
yeah,
what they were doing. And that's when
yeah,
they signed Sue and Linville Joseph after that game.
yeah. And I mean, they like improved, but I mean, God, Pacheco just what did I say he was averaging like 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That he was just, and I honestly think that's more not to the Eagles like playing like their D line playing bad, it's just the way Pacheco runs. That man runs like this is his last
Oh
rush ever.
yeah,
He's
definitely.
such a hard runner. I I don't like any of the Chiefs players really, but I mean I don't have anything against him because that Pacheco just runs like a madman. Um,
Yeah, I think that's awesome to McKinnon too, because
yeah,
I mean he got paid to go to San Francisco like 3 years back from when he was like young in Minnesota.
Mhm.
He always had the talent. It's just injuries, 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 and I mean, when you look at it, the Chiefs now he really valuable player for them, and same thing with Tony too. Tony can never stay on the field. He was always hurt.
yeah,
MVS the same way. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, everybody that's always hurt just happened to be healthy for them.
yeah, and that's
Which
crazy
is
because
a weird way.
like the I guess like the Thursday injury report or whatever had like so many of the
Mhm.
Chiefs players like out with a sickness or some kind of injury,
Yep.
but they all just, I guess, just realized how big the game is, and we're like, "Oh, fudge it, we're playing in
Yeah,
this. I'm gonna die here." But
that's because Nicole Hardman didn't play either.
yeah, which is that's what like I'm just saying. Like I, it's crazy that the run game was so effective because I feel
Yeah,
like if it wasn't as effective, maybe the Eagles or the Chiefs would have struggled a little more, just because I think the Eagles tried to focus hard as fuck on Kelsey because I swear that man is open every single time. Every game I watch with the Chiefs, and that man's just
and
nobody's
see,
within 5 yards around him.
and this is my thing too with like the Eagles, they being the best, defense in the NFL, as they showed to be or try to be, or whether the stats said is they should just make the Chiefs receivers beat you, make
Yep.
Juju, put pressure on Mahomes. I was weirdly as a state stack the box because, like you said, you'd rather just have one or the other, have Mahomes throw on you or have Pacheco run all over you, and they just didn't commit to either one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, yeah, like you said, they have two all pro corners, Bradbury and Slay, and both of them were just, I wouldn't say like Slay really got cooked too much. I mean, I don't even
Yeah,
know who he was guarding, but on
yeah.
those busted plays where they ran like a
Touchdowns.
fake jet, yeah, on opposite sides of the field back to back.
Oh, that's
One of
crazy.
them, the first one, I think was on Slay, and
Mhm.
the second one was on Avante, right? Avante Maddox.
Yeah, Maddox. Yeah,
Sheesh, man,
that
it's
boy.
just.
No, no.
See,
That boy
man,
Maddox thought he was like Troy Polamalu or something, trying to read the play or something.
that man
That
looked like he
boy,
was trying to run 40 out there. He was running so hard to
yeah.
try and jump that jet sweep.
Oh my god. Like
Sheesh.
you said, I mean, more was in the end zone. He still was looking for him.
he was, I mean, he was barely just trying to slow down. Just put the brakes on, and Moore was already celebrating in the end zone. What the hell, man? God. Let's see.
So
So we talked about.
with
Oh,
that being said, future for both teams. Future looks bright with the Chiefs. They just won without Tyreek Hill,
yeah.
right?
And they have, well, I think they said they have 11 draft picks coming up in this draft.
And they just got Isaiah Pacheco. They found the running back McKinnon. I mean, they don't have to pay Hilaire now.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
they
you,
they do have to pay like I think some of the O line. I think they got to figure out what to do with Orlando Brown. Let me see. I take a picture.
no,
They
totally
got
fine. But yeah. With that being said, I think the future is bright when you have Pat Mahomes, right? If you have Pat
I
Mahomes and Andy Reid, it looks like you're in a good situation.
ain't gonna say nothing.
No matter the circumstances, I'll say it. I'm not even
Nah, I
crazy
mean,
about Mahomes, but they're gonna win. I'm not too sure how we feel about their division either.
um,
You
the only
know,
one that I think could even pose a threat is the Chargers, but I mean, they always
uh,
just find a way to
yeah,
just collapse. When we saw
yeah.
that in the playoffs, was it 30-0 at halftime? They
They
just,
lost to the Jaguars.
sheesh.
And Trevor Lawrence did everything in his power for Justin Herbert to win.
Yeah, man, was it three or four? I think it was
He
three,
threw
right?
4 picks, I
Four,
think.
four picks, three of them in the first half. Goodness, man, and
Bad
oh
ones
god,
too. Not even
I still get mad from that game. I'm not even a Chargers fan.
yeah, Chargers fans, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
I
But
mean, of course, the Eagles did lose, but I feel like Jalen Hurts
few
really showed how much he's developed. I mean, in my opinion, I know Chiefs won and all that, but I think he actually really outplayed Mahomes in a lot of ways. He did have
Mhm.
the
I
one
can
turnover, but
definitely
other than
agree.
that, I mean,
He got me. I mean, I didn't expect him to play as well as he did. I mean that ball to AJ Brown, that was money. Sorry,
yeah,
AJ Brown. That was round
come on,
money.
dude. I was cheering for AJ Brown, man. That's my boy.
That was a
And John
good pass
Robinson.
on the outside, only where he could go get it.
Yeah,
You know, that's why you got him, right?
yeah. I mean, he's just improved so much every year. You know, I'm a little biased because
OU.
he went to OU. I'm a OU fan, but I mean, even then, just improving so much. I mean, are we really surprised though? Just the way he carries himself. He's always like, I think he's super humble, and the way he is just his dad and his mom raised him. They kind of just instilled that
Yeah.
work ethic into him. So I'm glad to see he kind of shut the haters up. Obviously, a lot of people are gonna clown him for that weak Hail Mary throw, which I also did, even though
I want
he's
to
my
talk about
boy. But
that.
I was like, what the? But you know, I understand. I'm sure the shoulder injury, kind of played into that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the Eagles' offense, for the most part, you know, they really went toe to toe with the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense and everyone's Lord and Savior, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they went toe to toe with them, stood in the ring, took all the punches, even when they were at momentum swing. They were down 8. Jalen Hurts just went straight down, drove them, got him in the end zone, literally carried them to the 2-point conversion. I mean, yeah, he pretty much did all he could to try and win them the game, but just little bitty, you know, like you said, didn't pick Eagle mistakes, kind of the downfall of them.
Yeah, like I said, going back to the topic, yeah, the future is bright for both these teams, honestly, Chiefs and the Eagles. And I hate being a Cowboy fan. I think hopefully Eagles found their quarterback. I mean, I don't think it's a Carson Wentz 2.0 situation. I mean, he did his thing. He got a chance to go play in the Super Bowl, unlike Wentz. I mean, and he
I
performed
mean,
well at the highest stage,
yeah,
and he 300 passing yards, which we're always worried about his shoulder leading up to the games and the playoffs, leading into the postseason. I mean, it was always his shoulder. What can you do if he could take a hit?
yeah,
I do think that factored in that Hail Mary throw. At least if I was hurt, that's what I would say. My shoulder's starting to hurt.
yeah. But yeah,
But
I mean, I he just wouldn't say it. I mean, this just speaks to like also again like the kind of guy he is. He would always
yeah,
take.
but I think
Yeah,
I do think they found something, and with Hurts and Sirianni. I know Miles
yeah.
Sanders is a free agent, which I
I
don't think
mean,
it's
I'm
too big a factor because I feel like they're a team they've never really put all their marbles in a bag. I don't know how to say it.
yeah. I mean, even
They
then, like I feel like the city of Philly just doesn't like Miles Sanders either, and I don't think I feel like he kind of feels underappreciated this year. I feel like I see more slander on him than any other year.
crazy him being from like Pennsylvania. I think he went to Penn State. I think actually
Yeah.
too.
So I mean,
Oh,
they just.
I know
But I
he's
mean,
free.
Jalen Hurts is a free agent too this year or this offseason, so the Eagles gonna have to pay him a bag.
And that's where I think like obviously the future they have their quarterback. That's a lot. And
Mm.
I do think their future is fine. I do think their window's kind of weird, I guess to say.
Yeah,
It's just I'm not too sure who's gonna take it in the NFC period. You know what I mean? With
yeah. I mean, especially with everything like Rodgers might leave, Brady retired. It's really like
and
maybe the
then
49ers, but I mean, they can't ever
right,
stay healthy.
yeah, exactly. I mean, because
See,
then yeah, the Vikings do their thing.
yeah, I mean, regular
But
season champs.
they're all old, honestly. Like their defense is old. They're losing Pat Pete. No
Yeah,
one ever believes in Kirk Cousins.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I saw that
And
they're trying to get rid of Dalvin Cook too. They
right,
might just.
yeah,
I think got his jettison.
you
I
got
mean,
Hawkins. They made a move for
crazy.
Hawkins
Oh,
too.
yeah, I forgot about him. I
Yep,
mean,
and Thielen.
yeah,
And
I don't know what if they just full commit to Kirk Cousins for another few years or try and get somebody to back him up or someone to replace him this coming draft, which I don't know. But yeah, like you said,
I know Justin Jefferson loves Kirk Cousins, man.
yeah, but I don't think there's a lot of people who don't love him.
So
I think there's a
somebody
lot of people
said,
who don't love him.
yeah, I know my grandma hates Kirk Cousins. From the you like that. since you like
Um,
that.
but, but yeah, I mean, like you said, the NFC. I can see the NFC being wide
It's just
open, and I mean,
and then
the Eagles on paper, like if they sign like a good, because I'm looking at the thing right now, they have Hargrave they got to resign, Fletcher Cox they got to resign, Miles Sanders, Gardner
okay.
Johnson, James Bradbury, Kazir
Oh,
White,
or
Isaac, or I don't know, Sale Malo, one of their linemen, Marcus Epps, Robert Quinn, Gardner
maybe
Minshew. Which, I mean, yeah, they got a bunch of people they got to resign. But I'm sure if they like keep the, I guess, kind of the core of the defense, they'd be fine. I mean,
yeah, I mean, because
the
they gotta
offense
make a
really isn't
move
too bad.
eventually with like Fletcher
Yeah,
Cox. Right, he's getting old. Right, I feel like he's been on the team forever.
yeah, yeah. I mean, even then, like they got a top 10 pick this year too from the Saints, and they
That's
also
good.
have what like I think the 31st or something. So they have two first round picks, which I'm sure they could try and if they want to pick somebody on the defensive side to replace Fletcher Cox, or they could try to work some kind of package to get more picks, still drafts to replace it for them. I think they'll be fine. Like as far as if they let a couple people go. But yeah, I mean, like you said, NFC's kind of wide open right now. The Eagles are probably the
Lastly,
best ones to win it, maybe
lastly, I just
besides the
want to
Cowboys.
lastly I just want to throw this in there. So, which last throw was worse, Jalen Hurts or the Dak Prescott? Which was
I mean, I would say probably the Dak one because I don't even know what they were planning on doing there. I mean, with
yeah,
Hurts, you knew he was trying to get into the end zone, but I don't think anybody had any idea what the Dak one was. But even I don't think the throw was bad for Dak. I think it was just the play call. Like, yeah, Zeke at center.
definitely.
I mean,
I don't know why we just didn't throw it to Turpin on the screen. I don't know what the
yeah.
point was running a slant to get murdered.
I mean, and then Zeke, like, I know he's getting a little big, but man got run over by who was it? I think it was Greenlaw. Yeah, I mean, God, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's why Kellen Moore is gone, But
Yeah. I don't know. I heard Dak Prescott was pretty mad about that.
yeah, I mean,
But
like, even just on lineup, like, that's what two or back to back years where the last play of their season is like
so
just
controversial.
like, yeah, it's like ridiculed because it's
Well,
like, what are y'all doing?
you know. All right, so pretty much is it, right? With for the Super Bowl recap, honestly, I feel like we talked about a lot about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much
you
covered
know,
it all. I
key
mean,
points are like
Eagles did everything right and still fell
still
up short.
lost.
They
Yeah,
still fell short. Tied.
dominated time possession. Had the one turnover. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's just
Did
it's
everything.
unlucky.
Yeah, and that's a real tough one to lose, man. I mean, that's
Like
it.
how like I don't even know what you say to like your players because I mean, like you said, they dominated time possession. They kept Mahomes on the sideline for half the game, pretty much. Um, I mean, they had the one turnover, but they that was just nothing like that the Chiefs did defensively to confuse them. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
there's
at
nothing else that's really
the end of the day, your defense got to make a stop.
yeah.
Like they preach, defense wins championships, and
Especially like they've been all week they were hyping up the D line, secondary with the all pros, just how great they played. And then just to go out there and no
there's some
sacks, nothing, no QB hits, and just get destroyed by not even Travis Kelsey, by Juju and
that's
Valdez,
another
Scantling, and all them.
another thing too. Like to look at is like I guarantee nobody was talking about Chiefs O line's gonna dominate Eagles D
Yeah,
line, right?
yeah.
I'm sure nobody was saying that, and you
I
could
mean,
tell like on like at least I think that was after the Sky Moore touchdown or one of them. But you see the Chiefs O line like Creed Humphrey or one of them was just yelling on the spot. Like the O line is just hyped up because they're just like they can't mess with us. Like they can't, and for a D line that's basically all pros all along the front four, they don't got to rush no linebackers or safeties because they do it all.
yeah.
And Chiefs
I
O
mean,
line, I mean they picked up everything. They did everything right.
I
Wouldn't
mean,
have seen that coming, dominating the defensive line for the Eagles, like they said, led the league in sacks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody who picked the Eagles to win, like all the analysts, I mean, that was probably their strongest point was the Chiefs O line cannot handle the Eagles front four.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I thought that too. I thought Hassan Reddick was going to go crazy
Yeah,
because he's just like
definitely.
a speed edge rusher, which I feel like that's more of a Mahomes kind of kryptonite. Because usually, I feel like the thing with Mahomes is he's athletic enough to outrun all like the bigger D line, but like if it's like a kind of like a athletic edge rusher, he kind of struggles because they can kind of match his speed. But
Oh yeah,
I mean, 0 sacks, the third most sacks in NFL history, and they end
yeah.
up with 0 sacks on the biggest stage. They
Yeah.
must have took a page out of the Cowboys because the last time they had 0 sacks was against the Cowboys. So I
Right.
guess they were watching Cowboys film.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, that's Super Bowl 57. Chiefs won. They were also underdogs, right? The Eagles are the
Yeah,
favorites to win.
favorites for 2 weeks. 1 point
Yeah.
underdogs, like 1.5 point underdogs for 2 weeks.
So
And nobody and the like Kelsey said, nobody really believed in them. Like after they won, like because the line didn't move for 2 whole weeks. They stayed as underdogs, and
I mean, even they, yeah. I mean, like I
it
said,
felt
everybody was just thought the Eagles like you. I mean, I feel like it's not like we thought. It was more kind of more accurate. It's like the Eagles were the better team on paper. Like you said, they had just a better group of talent at every like level on both sides. But I just think Mahomes and Reed, that combination is
yeah.
just tough to beat.
Like I compared this Super Bowl to like my team, like in the finals last year. Honestly, the Celtics, I feel like we were the better team. The first 8, 9 players, I feel like we were better, but I feel like we didn't have the best player and the best coach like Steve Kerr and Steph Curry. I feel like that's where I feel like that's where it was gonna hurt us down the line, and I feel like that's kind of similar to this Super Bowl. Like we just didn't have an answer like the second half.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
that's how I felt this Super Bowl was. That's how I felt predicting it was the Eagles were the better team, but I just didn't feel like they didn't have enough to beat Mahomes and Reed, like you said.
I just like when it was 24-14, I just had this feeling. I was like, man, got to come out. Andy Reid's got to make some kind of crazy adjustments. And I mean, they just second half compared to the first half, like good lord, they just destroyed the Eagles defense.
Yep.
And then even like first half, it wasn't like the Eagles defense was dominating either. I mean, I think Chiefs were kind of more self-inflicted wounds too. But goodness gracious, that second half, I think the first drive of the second half, he started out 9 of 9 on the drive and just like 57, or I don't know, like 60 something yards and a touchdown. I was like, goodness gracious.
Yeah. Up and down. I mean, you can't give a guy like that all day to throw. So
I mean, obviously, that trash field that they spent $800,000 on just for everybody to slip and slide like it's at a water park. But what they did with their money, not up to me because I ain't got money like that.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah. So that's that Super Bowl 57. Caesar Sportsbook has already put out top 6 favorites for the Super Bowl next year. They got the Chiefs at plus 550, 49ers plus 600, Bills plus 650, Eagles plus 800, Bengals plus 900, and of course, the Dallas Cowboys plus 1600. Those are your top 6 favorites for the Super Bowl, with the Chiefs favored to win back to back. But how do you feel about those rankings right there, Dallas Morales?
That sounds very accurate to me, honestly. With the Chiefs, I just don't see. I mean, I get the talent is out there in the AFC with all the quarterbacks, the Burrows, the Herberts, the Lawrences, Josh Allen. But man, if Andy Reid and Mahomes, I mean, I do not feel comfortable betting against them, right? To like,
Yeah, I mean,
I'd rather have my money on Mahomes than than going against him to lose. And that's just how I feel. Now the
Yeah.
NFC, so it says Niners, Eagles, Cowboys are basically the top three, and
Hmm.
those were basically the top three teams last year. Honestly,
Yep.
yeah, I
It's
think
interesting. I think honestly, I think 49ers definitely the best team in the NFC just because their
oh,
defense is so good. But
it
like I
is.
said earlier,
Agree.
they're all like offensive. Like I just can't. This season was just so bad for them. What did they went through? Like I guess technically 4 quarterbacks because they had Christian McCaffrey back there for a couple of plays. Oh no, they did go through 4 quarterbacks because they had was it Josh Johnson?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're all
So
right. Yeah.
goodness, I mean they're literally just like an above average quarterback away from, or not even above average. I guess.
What's
What
crazy
would
is
you say is Jimmy G like average?
yeah. But what's crazy is I feel like we've been saying this about the Niners for a long time,
Yeah.
right? Man,
Yep.
since
Pretty
Kaepernick, they've
much.
had I feel like he was above average with the great defense, with the Navarro Bowmans or I forgot whoever they had playing with them,
Yeah.
but I
Arwin
just
and Willis.
don't
Goodness.
do not get it why they can't do it.
Yeah. And then it also doesn't help that, the one time they did make it, they kind of choked against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
But
exactly. I mean, that was a tough one to swallow. I mean, they did everything too.
yeah, I mean,
Everything
Mahomes
right.
had like 2 picks that game. Yeah. But
Similar situation. Mahomes didn't do anything until that throw that prayer to heal.
yeah. Goodness, man. I'm telling you. If
But
there was
yeah,
one team that's not in the top like 6 favorites, who do you think would be your like dark horse team to watch as a Super Bowl contender besides those that we named?
it's gotta be Jacksonville, right?
Jacksonville.
Gotta be they. I wonder what their cap space is, but I feel like they got it. Well, they kind of spent a little bit last season.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. They did
I
spend
really
like
do
a good
like.
chunk.
I like the Doug Peterson. He knows what it's like to win. I mean, I think those players really love him. Honestly, like they will die for him.
Yeah, I think it's
And
just like a new breath of like fresh air compared to Urban Meyer. It's just like
yeah,
getting rid of all that
any-
toxicity with that
anything.
man.
If I would pick one from the AFC, I think it's definitely them. I just do not trust the Chargers. I don't. I
Yeah,
won't ever because Philip Rivers showed me that time in, time
goodness. Justin
again.
Herbert's just showing it again. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the NFC sleeper
If
team in
I
the
had
NFC?
to, if I had to pick one for the NFC, I feel like it might be in our division. I really feel like the Giants. I feel like they have something. Same thing. They
Yeah,
love Brian Daboll. I mean,
yeah.
I think talent just caught up to them in the Eagles when they played the Eagles in that the second round. I
Oh
mean, because
yeah,
they just weren't talented enough on it. They just overperformed, really all season. I think if they could just, get some draft picks, maybe spend a little bit. I mean, they got to sign Daniel Jones because that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt,
yeah. I mean, they got to sign Daniel Jones and Saquon,
right?
but
And what's crazy is that it looked like Daniel Jones was gonna get cut. You know what I mean? Before
yeah.
Dable,
I
because
mean, yeah, they declined both their 5th-year
yeah,
options, Saquon and
yeah,
Daniel, and come
yeah.
back. Abel just revives both of them. Like,
Other than that, I mean, of course, everyone's gonna be really hot on the Lions, right?
oh yeah. I mean, just the way they ended the season, but I don't know, man. I feel like
It's hard
I
to say.
like the Lions, but yeah, it's just their defense was so bad at the
Yeah,
beginning. I feel like it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're kind of just up in the air because lots of times where we've seen like a team end on a crazy hot streak and then kind of just shit the bed in the next season. But maybe Jared Goff is the guy for them. Maybe they end up just getting rid of him and signing Lamar Jackson, like everybody, like a lot of people think.
I know that's yeah. Uh, yeah, putting a
I
lot of
think
faith.
they put a lot of faith in him, man. I mean, I feel like it's kind of warranted. He didn't do too bad this year. He was a Pro Bowl
Goff,
quarterback.
right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, Jared
I
Goff.
think Goff is good enough. Honestly, I really do
Yeah.
like Goff.
I think he's kind of like kind of similar to Jimmy G. I feel like they're kind of like the
Yeah,
same type of quarterback. Not
for sure.
superstars, but they'll do enough to help you get to where you go. If I had to pick
For
a
sure.
sleeper team in the AFC, can't
Okay.
really think of a sleeper team. honestly.
Um,
Or the Titans. Nah, I'm just kidding.
good one.
Nah, them boys are gonna be. I don't know what they're gonna do this year. Um, man, I would probably
Off the top of
feel
your
like
head,
maybe the Ravens if they get Lamar and he's healthy. I feel like they just go back to controlling
going back to
the
being 11 wins
AFC.
again.
Yeah, I mean,
12 wins.
but they gotta pay that man. They need to give him the bag. I honestly feel like it could be either the Ravens or maybe even the Browns with Deshaun Watson just having a full off season and finally
I
being
like
able
that.
to
I like that.
actually practice. In the NFC, this one's gonna be a shocker, but I just because they have so much like possibilities. I think a sleeper team in the NFC could be the Bears, just because
Oh, I love
they have,
Justin Fields. I love Justin
yeah,
Fields.
they have so much cap space, and then like the number one pick, they could do so much with that. So I'll
Hey,
keep my eyes
division
on the
wide open,
Bears,
right?
huh?
Division wide open, right? Rodgers
Pretty
looks like
much.
Vikings
I
are
mean,
old.
yeah, the Lion. I guess
Ooh,
literally
the
like the
Lions-
Lions and the Bears, the two like the laughing stocks of that division, are finally gonna get their time up top. This is gonna be a reverse of power.
For sure. Well,
I mean, that's pretty much it for, I guess, the
for
first
today, right?
episode.
I think we've
Yeah,
hit.
you got everything else to talk about?
I think that pretty much does it for this episode. Talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
I
I
mean,
guess, more or less. We got the first one in the books now.
yeah, the first episode. Now we just
So
gotta football season's over. We're gonna transition to basketball. You know, the
basketball and
I mean,
I guess
we don't really
March
talk
Madness,
about
whatever
baseball,
that
but
comes.
I'm talking about baseball if we have to. If there's nothing else, which we probably will, because
No, it's free agency and
oh
draft
yeah,
and mock
combine
draft.
pro days. Yeah,
Exactly who's shining and
I mean, yeah, there's like
DeMar Hamlin.
boxing, UFC. I mean, who's got Ryan Garcia and Javante? When are
Yeah,
they fighting?
I think it's in April.
Yeah, so we got that. Oh, we got March Mad. Oh, I mean that's basketball. No way. I
That's
went away
good.
from
March
that.
Madness is nice too. Big 12, best conference in basketball.
Yeah,
By far.
Boomer Sooner, baby. Yeah, yeah, they suck too. But we're going to the SEC. SEC. SEC.
Oh my god. Yeah, for sure. I think we got one down in the books. I don't know how it's gonna sound. I feel like we can
Yeah,
get more more structured. Surely.
yeah. I mean,
You
you
want
know,
to get one
if you
in the
guys
books?
listen to it, don't really judge us. First episode, trying to get the audio right, topics to talk about. But I mean, this is pretty much how it'll go. We could just kind of spitball or not spitball, kind of just go off the top of our head, talk about certain things in sports world. Basketball, you know, Dallas loves basketball. Probably more than me, but you
Yeah,
know,
I love
has been
basketball.
about it his whole life.
Definitely. I love
So
basketball. Definitely my sport.
I'll try to keep his Celtics bias to a minimum. But
Oh,
he can't keep my LeBron bias to a minimum because no.
stop.
But I mean, yeah, that's the should be the end of this one. Also, the end of the NFL season. I mean, we could even talk about the XFL if it once it comes back.
Ben DiNucci.
Pam Danucci. Oh my god. I mean, it starts this weekend, so we're gonna be able to see
Ben DiNucci to
how
Josh
it looks.
Gordon connection.
What'd you say?
Ben DiNucci to Josh Gordon.
Oh my lord, dude. And then he's gonna end up signing for the Cowboys again. They're gonna give him a second chance.
Yeah, Cooper Rush is gone. Bringing back DiNucci.
That'd be crazy. But I
We're
mean,
gonna
yeah, you
lose
got to.
because Rush is gonna get signed by somebody. Maybe the
Who
Niners
would
go after him. They need a quarterback.
stop? I don't even like. I feel like as far as like quarterbacks, I mean, I feel like the NFL is pretty much the except Texans,
You think?
Panthers, Colts. I feel like everybody else is kind of set. I mean, I throw in the Titans in there because I don't know what
Y'all
they're
do
gonna do
not
with
believe in
Tannehill.
Malik Willis. Y'all do
I
not believe in him. There's
that's
no
just
faith.
I don't think Vrabel wanted him, but I mean that's why they fired the GM because yeah he didn't communicate like John Robinson, the old GM, he didn't communicate with Vrabel or or the owner, Amy. So I feel like that's why he's gone. I mean, you could tell just the way people interact with Malik Willis on the sideline. I
Yeah,
don't think they want him there. But
for sure.
maybe we'll end up trading with the Bears and get Bryce Young or
With Malik Willis
yeah,
for Trey
Rodgers.
Lance.
Stop. They do not want Malik out there. They're gonna be
Put him
so
in,
mad.
put him in at running back or something.
I mean, like, I'm not even gonna get into it. That'll get me started.
Yeah,
Up.
that's another day.
But I mean, I guess that's wraps on the first episode of 806 Perspective. Damn, that was a good one. So record that and use that. But I mean, yeah. If you listen to the podcast, I don't know where we're gonna put it at. Probably YouTube or Spotify. I don't know how all that works, but if you listen to it, give us some feedback, comments on the YouTube section, or if you know us personally, you can message us on whatever you follow us on or whatever. Please bear with us. Like I said, this is our first episode. We didn't really kind of made the channel a year ago, but we didn't even talk about it after we made the channel till last week. So we're trying to get this really going. Just because we like talking about sports. So just bear with us. Audio, hopefully. I don't think it's bad, but if it is, we'll try to get it better. We'll try and get like a schedule stuff, stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure. We'll try to get a schedule down. Mondays or what is today? It's a Monday, right?
Monday?
Valentine's Day? Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Yes, like you said, hopefully we get a schedule down, start having these, weekly with topics with, basketball coming up and like you said, March Madness. Football is always going to be around with all NFL players tweeting to NFL players unfollowing teams.
Yeah, all those free agency drama.
Yeah.
Dallas is also big on like sports bets, so maybe we'll have like a daily or every episode he'll have like his daily picks or something, or the next day.
My daily lot.
Yeah, it's kind of getting you some numbers. But I mean, yeah, got a lot of sports coming up this summer. Hopefully we get the ball rolling on the old potty. I mean, we kind of did first episode. Yeah, we did it, Dallas. Yeah,
that's awesome. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for whoever tunes in, and like you said, that any feedback is good feedback, and just thank everybody for listening. Whoever is listening or tuning into this, thank you, and I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys for listening. I guess see you on the next one.